Well, welcome to the Gardeners Cottage YouTube channel. In this video we're going to show you opportunity at this time of year here in the UK to buy these Fritillaria, snake's head Fritillaria.
If the dogs will let us.
Yes, if they'll get out of the way. Now these are over their best and they were reduced in the garden centre. In fact, we got a real bargain. This whole tray of 15 pots, each with probably about 5 of the little corns or bulbs for the Fritillaria in them, for £5. So an absolute bargain. You'd normally pay that probably in some posh garden centres for just one pot, but just look at those. Still nice and healthy. Most of the flowers have gone. There's still
it's
just
a snake's
one there.
head Fritillaria.
Beautiful purple flowers which will naturalise and come back year after year. And we've got areas in the garden. Kate will probably go
These are
and
the seed pods.
give you a little view of the ones that we've had planted out in that part of the garden for probably 5 or 10 years now, and they're thickening up the clumps and flowering absolutely beautifully. There is a white version of this which is a little harder to find, but this is the sort of native natural one here in the UK, and we think this area here in our little shaded woodland will do them very well. It's a damp soil here, tends to stay moist throughout the year, and it's semi-wild grassland, so we're going to naturalise these. You can see in the area that we're going to plant them in, we've got some snowdrops that are now finished and are just still in the green, but we're going to try and plant rounds there, so we've got a succession of flowers with the snowdrops and then following on with the Fritillaria. Now if I open one of these pots, you can see they've rooted out really nicely.
Really good little pot, isn't it?
Just look at that. You can see the bulbs are starting to divide and spread out into clumps already. We'll plant these as complete clumps though, and over the course of the next few years they'll really thicken up, and we'll show you what they look like when they've been in the ground for several years. You need to plant these at around the same height that they are planted in the pots. So they don't have to go particularly deep. We're trying to aim just to about get them at the same height as they are here.
The other thing that's really good about them is they will self-seed, and you can see the seed heads on here. So don't be tempted to take those off. Leave those on, because what you'll find is they will naturalise. It's a native British wildflower, and they will self-seed into the ground around them. If it's sort of a bit disturbed, and then you'll get baby plants. So you have to be quite patient with Fritillaria. They're not a fast spreader, but they are very rewarding to grow, and at this time of year they're really good value. They're in the garden centres, and a lot of the garden centres reduce them because once they go underground, obviously they can't sell them. So I'll just take you over to see what Mike's doing. He's dug a hole.
Popping them in.
The first one is in.
Down and backfilling to try and keep them just about at the same height as they were growing in the pot.
I did give these a good watering before we planted them out, so that because they were quite dehydrated when we got them from the garden centre. They'd been in a polytunnel and they were looking quite sorry for themselves. So I rehydrated them over about 24 hours, watered them a couple of times. I sat them in a tray of water for about an hour or two, and then they really come rehydrated beautifully.
Next one going in.
So we've got 15 to plant, so I'm not going to subject you to watch all 15 going in. If you've got any questions at all about Fritillaria, we've been growing Fritillaria now for about 14 years. In fact, I'll take you to show you the established area of Fritillaria while Mike gets the rest of them in, and then we'll pop back and see how he's got on. So I've brought you through to another part of the garden where we've been naturalising daffodils and Fritillaria now for about 12 years. And you can see here's a little self-seeded Fritillaria. It's a baby one. Here's another one. We'll have a little walk around, see if we can spot them amongst the daffodils. They combine very well with daffodils, and they just give you a little pop of colour. There's a nice big plant here. They've just started to close their flowers because it's getting a bit darker now. And there's one in there if we zoom in. So you just see them peeping out from between the daffodils. But they are a native British flower, and I used to think they were really, really difficult to grow. But once you know how to grow them, they're very easy. They grow really well with naturalized bulbs. So here they've self-seeded out, and I've got lots of them in here. Just move the daffodils so you can see them. And they're just really, really majestic little flowers. And they just give this spark joy every time I see them. So we've got quite a lot of them that have naturalised in here. So we planted the initial ones, and then they've just spread out. But here's a baby one here. But what you have to do is, they look very like grass. So because we've got daffodils naturalised in here, we don't cut this area now until everything has gone underground and completely died back, browned back. So we won't probably cut this grass until late May, early June. It could even be later than that, because that gives the Fritillaria a chance to put as much energy as possible into those bulbs so that they do this again next year. And you can see over here we've got some absolutely enormous ones. Look at this one. So this used to be a common native British wildflower, but it's very rare now that you see it in the wild. But it is appearing in garden centres now. So if you've got a wild area of your garden like we have here, then it's a really good plant to naturalise. I'll just take you and show you the white Fritillaria, because we've got some white ones in here as well. So in amongst the purple ones, we've also naturalised some white Fritillaria, which again is a gorgeous little thing. It tends to come up a little later in our experience than the purple one, but it may just be we've planted it in a shady area. There's a purple one here. I'll just take you and see, I've got another big clump of white ones. In this area here, it is a little shadier, so that might be why they're a bit later, but they've really naturalised well here. I've got lots of the white ones. You can see them just popping out from between the daffodils. And then there's some more over there somewhere. We can zoom in, you can just see them. The white ones don't probably stand out quite as much as the purple ones. I can see more purple ones in there, just because they're a bit more sort of blending with the daffodils. But I'm really enjoying having both varieties. I'm not sure if there are any other colours. If you know, please do let me know if there are any other colours of Fritillaria. But we've only seen these ones available in the garden centres, the white ones and the purple ones. And if you're patient and you manage your grass area right, they reward you with these absolutely beautiful plants. And you can see here they've self-seeded out. There are lots and lots of baby ones. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting, and it gives you the confidence to have a go at naturalising Fritillaria. If you've got any questions at all about naturalising spring bulbs or Fritillaria, please pop them in the comments. I'm always happy to answer. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Bye for now.